Let's just dive right in, shall we? The title for today is a pretty big claim: the world isn't what you think. And you know what? That goes for you too. We're about to challenge the very idea of who and even what you are.
So, let's start with a wild question. Are you just a walking, talking computer made of meat? I mean, are you basically a biological machine programmed by your DNA? It's a view you hear a lot, but really think about it. Does that cold, mechanical description actually capture what it feels like to be you?
And this really gets to the heart of the problem. See, on one side, you've got the scientific you. You're a collection of atoms, a bundle of neurons firing away, a product of your genetic code. And hey, that's all true. But then there's the lived you, that incredible feeling of a good morning stretch, the specific smell of rain hitting hot pavement, the sudden rush of joy when an old favorite song comes on. Science can explain the mechanics, sure, but can it explain the experience itself?
That gap right there, that's what we're going to explore. We'll kick things off by challenging that brain is everything view. Then we'll talk about what it means to return to the world and learn a super practical method of wonder. From there, we'll see how this uncovers a truly meaningful world, and finally, we'll get into why any of this actually matters for you.
Okay, part 1, more than just a brain. This is all about pushing back on the idea that a purely scientific description is the only story to tell about you and your world.
The philosopher Merleau-Ponty just nailed it with this quote. He said, "The whole universe of science is built upon the world as directly experienced. Science is the second-order expression." Whoa, what does that mean? It means your actual lived direct experience, that comes first. Always. Science is an amazing, brilliant tool for explaining that experience, but it's an explanation that shows up after the experience has already happened.
And I love this analogy because it makes it so clear. Think of it like this. Science is the recipe for the cake. It tells you the ingredients, the chemical reactions, the exact temperature of the oven, but your lived experience, that's the taste of the cake. And we all know the recipe is not the taste. An explanation of the world isn't the world itself. Okay, so let's move on to part 2. If science is just the recipe, how do we get back to the actual taste of the cake? Well, this is where we bring in a philosophy with a kind of fancy name, but I promise it has a really simple goal. It's called phenomenology. Seriously, don't let that word scare you. At its core, phenomenology is all about one simple idea: returning to the things themselves. It's just the practice of describing our experience exactly as we live it, before we jump in to analyze it or explain it away with science.
So for instance, a phenomenologist isn't really interested in the chemical makeup of caffeine or, the manufacturing process of your coffee mug. That's all recipe stuff. Instead, it's about the experience. It's about describing the actual feeling of warmth spreading through your hands from the mug, that rich aroma hitting you, the simple, comforting ritual of taking that first sip in the morning. That is the world as it's actually lived.
Now, a really key idea here is something called intentionality. Again, sounds complex, but it's dead simple. It just means that all consciousness is consciousness of something. Your mind is never just floating in a void being on, it's always directed outwards, pointing at the world. See, you're never just vaguely conscious. No, you're conscious of that deadline that you're totally ignoring. You're conscious of that amazing-looking pizza you're about to eat. And you're definitely 100% conscious of your cat staring at you, judging you from across the room. Your mind is always, always engaged with the world. Okay, so how do we actually do this, right? How do we practice seeing the world in this fresh way? That brings us to part 3. The method of wonder. Basically, how to think like a phenomenologist. So the main tool here has this super academic, clunky name, the phenomenological reduction. Forget that. Let's just call it hitting the wonder button. It's a simple little mental trick for looking at the world with brand new eyes. And here's how you do it, in 3 easy steps. First, choose something. A really simple experience. Let's say just looking at your own hand. Second, pause. This is where you hit the wonder button. For just a second, suspend everything you know about it. Forget that it's made of bones and skin and tissue. Put the recipe aside. And third, describe. What is your hand as you actually live it? Well, it's a tool for waving hello. It's an instrument for creating something, a way of feeling the texture of the world. It's pure potential.
And this just perfectly captures what Merleau-Ponty was getting at. He said, true philosophy consists in relearning to look at the world. It's not about discovering some secret hidden reality. It's about truly, finally seeing the one that's been right in front of your face this whole time.
Okay, on to part 4. When you actually start practicing this method of wonder, you begin to realize something absolutely huge. You are not just a brain trapped in a body, like a pilot in a machine looking out at some separate world. The big, mind-blowing discovery is this. You are a being in the world. It's not you over here and the world over there. You are fundamentally woven into the fabric of it all. Your very existence is tied up with the world. You and the world are a single dynamic thing.
So what is this world then? It's this amazing shared space where all of our perspectives come together, where my perceptions can confirm yours and yours can confirm mine. Merleau-Ponty had this fantastic metaphor for it. He said it's where your experience and other people's experiences intersect and engage each other like gears. How cool is that? We are constantly building this shared, meaningful reality together. It's not my world or your world, it's the world.
And that brings us to our last section. Why on earth does any of this matter? What is the actual point of hitting the wonder button and taking your own experience this seriously? Well, the first thing to get is that phenomenology isn't some complete finished system with all the answers for you to memorize. It's not a rule book. It's a practice. It's a way of paying attention to your life as you're actually living it.
I think this frames it so beautifully. The idea is to become a perpetual beginner. You're not supposed to be some all-knowing expert. You're supposed to be someone who is always open to the mystery of the world, who never just takes things for granted and is always willing to look again with wonder.
So, in the end, this whole thing isn't about finding some grand final answer to the meaning of life. It's about something way more immediate and powerful. It's about relearning to see the incredible richness and strangeness and wonder that is already present in your own direct experience.
And so I'll leave you with a question, a challenge, actually. After hearing all this, what is one simple, everyday thing, your morning coffee, the walk you take to work, the feeling of the sun on your skin, that you could try to look at with fresh eyes today? What happens when you decide to hit your own wonder button?